State Weather Bureau PAGASA warns Filipinos to prepare for Typhoon Rolly with international name Goni as it continues to rapidly intensify over the Philippine Sea. PAGASA weather specialist Raymond Ordinario says Typhoon Rolly will probably make landfall either in Aurora or Quezon Sunday evening November 1 or early Monday morning November 2. After that, it will cross central Luzon, then possibly exit landmass via Pangasinan or Zambales. In a weather bulletin, PAGASA announces Typhoon Rolly is at 990 east of Kasiguran, Aurora as of Friday afternoon, October 30. It has a maximum sustained winds of 185 kilometers per hour near the center and gustiness of up to 230 kilometers per hour. It is moving westward at 20 kilometers per hour. As of Friday evening, signal number 1 has been raised in Catanduanes. PAGASA also says the highest possible tropical cyclone wind signal that may be raised would be signal number 3 or number 4. This would mean destructive to very destructive typhoon force winds in areas directly in the typhoon's path. The National Disaster Bureau, meantime, encourages local governments to ramp up information dissemination and evacuation to prevent casualties. Raleigh could leave the Philippine Area of Responsibility or PAR on Tuesday, November 3. PAGASA is also monitoring tropical storm at Sani, which could enter PAR on Sunday or Monday. It will be given a local name, Shawnee. Various think tanks predict the Philippine economy will suffer one of the worst downturns in ASEAN by year-end as Filipinos still largely avoid public places and stay at home. This is based on Google's mobility data that keeps track of people's movements during the pandemic. While the rest of ASEAN is fast returning to pre-pandemic levels of mobility, data shows Filipinos prefer to stay at home and avoid public places. As of October 23, mobility at retail and recreation areas is still 46% lower than earlier this year, even as malls have opened their doors for longer hours. Data also shows mobility in residential areas is only 22% higher than early this year, even if people are freer than ever to go out of their homes. This despite the loosening of quarantine restrictions in past months. Meantime, Malay Aklan acting Mayor Falibar Bautista is pushing for the cheaper and faster rapid antibody test to screen tourists and workers headed to Boracay Island. The island started accepting tourists from General Community Quarantine or GCQ areas on October 1. Tourists traveling to Boracay Island are required to submit a negative swab test result within 72 hours prior to arrival. The acting mayor points out the swab test is too costly for travelers compared to the rapid test. But the health department insists a swab test remains the gold standard for confirming COVID-19. Veteran Director Jose Javier Reyes slams online a learning module that asked students to identify the actors that delivered hugot lines. In a Facebook post Monday, October 26, Reyes uploads a photo of the supposed Filipino 2 module and says it is not only dismaying but infuriating. He questions the vision and professionalism among those in the education department if the teaching of language is based on identifying the actors that delivered hugot lines and quotable quotes from local movies. He goes on to say that he is demoralized by the educational standards being shown to Filipino students. The director writes, "Thus today I have concocted a new term, idiots. Idiots in education." In a statement to the Inquirer, the DepEd denies it developed the module. DepEd was previously criticized for errors found in modules they developed for distance learning this school year, prompting them to ask for the public's understanding. Former Malaysian Prime Minister Mahathir Mohamad tweets, "Muslims have a right to kill millions of French people after a deadly attack in Nice, France." 3 people were killed Thursday, October 29 at a church in Nice, France, with the attackers slitting the throat of at least 1. Authorities are treating the incident as a terrorist assault. Mahathir, formerly a prime minister of Muslim-majority Malaysia, launches an extraordinary outburst in a series of tweets after the attack. His tweets sparked widespread anger, prompting Twitter to delete his post. Twitter initially declines to remove the comments but finally concedes following a furious reaction from the French government. Cedric O, the French junior minister for digital affairs, says in a tweet he spoke with the managing director of Twitter France to immediately suspend Mahathir's account. He says, if not, Twitter would be an accomplice to a formal call for murder. Twitter initially flagged Mahathir's tweet about killing millions of French people as glorifying violence but did not remove it. Twitter eventually deletes the tweet, saying it violated policy regarding glorification of violence. Several posts claiming Senator Nancy Binay approved the bill proposing September 11 as Marcos Day in Ilocos Norte are false. A graphic circulating in several Facebook posts says 8 senators including Binay approved the Marcos Day bill. The graphic contains the social media handles of the organization Impact Leadership. Binay denies voting for the approval of the bill. In a Facebook post, she says she had to leave the Senate Committee on Local Government hearing before the bill was tackled. She says, quote, I wish to reiterate that I did not vote for the approval of the bill and will not support any bill that would cause historical revisionism. Impact Leadership also posted an update and apology after Binay's statement and removed its social media card. Senator Sherwin Gatchalian, who was also named in the graphic as one of the 8 who voted, also denies voting for the approval of the bill. Gatchalian says no voting occurred during the hearing. Gatchalian says he endorsed the bill to a technical working group. The bill was passed by the House of Representatives on third and final reading in September. The bill needs to pass second and third readings in the Senate plenary before it is sent for President Rodrigo Duterte's signature.